Okay, so I'll first revisit all those things which I've discussed in the pre-class. Okay, for some of you like who haven't watched it. So guys, I'm starting with the relational operators, relational and comparison operator, relational operator. So one very important thing is it is used to compare values, as I've already mentioned it, used to compare values. When you want to like compare like multiple values, then in that case you will use the basically compare relational operator. And the one thing is output of relational operator will always be a Boolean value. Output of relational operator is will be a boolean वैल्यू क्यों खाना खा लिया हाँ खा लिया काम कर लिया हाँ कर लिया घूमने गए नहीं गए so in each of these questions every answer which is coming in either in yes or no. Okay, so there are few things where like you know that like when you used to go to some websites, few websites, and suppose you're filling a form, so there are some information where they used to just ask in yes and no only. Okay, so they used to store only this kind of, so that's why we need a boolean one also. That's why we need a boolean thing also. So in terms of like when you are doing the kind of operation like relation operator, for example, like greater than equal to, less than equal to, and not equal to. So basically these are the operation which used to like do the comparison. Now, I'll go to the next part. So now let's see the operator in detail. So the first thing is what I'll do. Now, this is my operator. This is my explanation, and this is my example. Okay. So now the thing is when I'm saying equal to, okay, इसको कहते हैं, this is known as is equal to. And here, like when I'm saying 3 equal to 5. Guys, isme I just want to give you one clarity. When you used to write a equal to 2 or when you are writing a double equal to 2, these two statements are different. This statement means assignment. Basically, you are assigning a 2 value to this variable. You are saying that a की value 2 होगी. This is the meaning of assignment. But when I'm saying double equal to, that is the meaning of this is comparison. Comparison means जो भी a की value है, we will try to compare it with 2. So might be, imagine that like a value, here you can see that the value of a is 2. So it is 2 and 2 equal to 2, double equal to 2, that we are comparing it. We are doing the comparison. Now this comparison is actually true. So in this case, the output which will come is true. So remember one thing, when you want to assign some values, so we'll use single equal to. And when we want to do the comparison, so we will use double equal to. Okay. So that is the main thing which you need to understand. And that's why. So basically here I mentioned like double equal to. Now the second thing is not equal to. So this is known as not equal to. And this is something like 3 not equal to 5. If I go to greater than, so this is known as greater than. And in the greater than, we'll write like 3 greater than 5, something like that. If I'm saying that less than, so we'll write less than in this way. So this is 3 less than 5. Now I'm saying that greater than equal to, similarly, you have less than equal to, like all these things are there. Okay. So similarly, you can generalize the other thing. You can generalize the other examples. Now, if I'm coming to the greater than, let's talk about the greater than. Okay, I'll be talking about few operators that will help you to understand. So basically, when I'm putting greater than, तो ये है मजनू, ये है लैला. हाइट देखो, मजनू की हाइट ज्यादा बड़ी है लैला. So the point here is why we use these operator? Because we want to do the comparison. So here we are doing the comparison in terms of height. Okay. ऐसा भी हो सकता है मजनू छोटा हो लैला बड़ी हो. ठीक है. Don't think कि like don't go to the gender part. It's something like I've taken the example. So so this is something like, so suppose if I'm writing in terms of code. So here I'll create a tuple, and this is lecture 5, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4. Lecture 4, uh, conditional statements. So basically here in this code, suppose if I remove this part, and if I remove this part, and now what I'll do is I'll write here is, suppose a value int age of Majnu. ठीक है, age of Majnu is 28. Int age of Lala is 25. Now here what I'm doing is, so basically what I can do here, if I write system.out.println, I can directly write age of Majnu is greater than age of Leila. So basically, if I just write in this way, then what will happen? I will get a result in like in a Boolean form. Okay. So the thing is Java main dot Java, and if I run it, okay, it is giving me an error because I'm missing the semicolon. Just read the error like error expected semicolon except expected error. So if I run it, so you can see that this is going true because at 20 it is greater than 25. Now the another way of writing this is, suppose I can also basically declare a variable which is known as result. And in the result, I can put this thing. I can put this statement. And then I can also do the printing. So that is the another way. Okay. So here I'm putting the result in this one, and then I'm printing the result. So this is the another way. अभी यहाँ पे again I've missed the semicolon. Okay, so now you can see that our result is true. Now the another question is problem 1 dot Java. So basically, what you need to do is, I am giving you some variable here. मैं आपको कुछ variable देता हूँ यहाँ पे. Int. So basically here I am giving you the variable int Sunil marks. ठीक है. मैं आपको सुनील को देता हूँ. सुनील marks is 35. Now if I am giving you int passing marks is suppose 35 also. Okay, Sunil marks is 35 and passing marks is 35. Now what is your problem statement is, you need to tell me whether Sunil is passed or not. Okay, check whether Sunil passed or not. So basically, if he's passed, then you need to print true, and if he's failed, then you need to print false. Now, just quickly solve this problem. I'm sharing the link with you all. Just quickly try this question and tell me what is the solution. How will you complete it? No, I know that like Sunil is passed, but how will you, if you are writing in terms of relation operator, then how will you write it? Just complete this code and basically you don't need to write any kind of if else, okay, वहां पे मत जाना, but you just need to write a comparison statement. Criteria for the passing is like here given na, given passing marks is 35. Passing marks is like the standard, the school, which the school has decided the passing marks should be 35, but Sunil got 35. Now you need to write a single relation statement where we can check that it can, like it will give me true, like if Sunil marks is greater than passing marks. So how will you complete the code? The way I have written previously. Okay, here I haven't written any kind of if else, so don't write if and else. If else नहीं लिखना है आपको, सीधा आपको सिर्फ कंडीशनल स्टेटमेंट मतलब वो रिलेशन स्टेटमेंट लिखनी है. ओके, नाइस. Okay, nice. So many of you are writing in this way. Like I'll just show you the example. Like, many of you are writing this thing in this way. I'm just copying the code. System.out.println Sunil marks is greater than equal to passing marks. Then in that case, we can say that like it is true. Okay. So here, like if I write problem one, so it is saying error because semicolon missing. Now you can see that like it is giving me true. Why? Because Sunil is passed. Okay. Now what if I say like what if I write in this way? Sunil marks is greater than passing marks. In this case, this code will not like work well. Why? Because Sunil marks 35 is greater than actually Sunil might be, you can imagine that Sunil might get 36 number. Okay, so in this case, this code will work right, like perfectly. Okay, because 36 is greater than 5. What if Sunil get 38? So this code is actually working well. But if you get like 35, then in that case, this code will get failed. Why? Because Sunil has got 35 marks. And even the passing marks is 35, even though he is showing like it is fail. Why? Because 35 is not greater than 35. क्योंकि 35 greater than 35 है. So you need to understand one thing why I'm actually showing this example to you. Suppose imagine that like you have written a application for a school, okay, and at that point you put a criteria that if any student got number greater than passing marks, then he will be passed. But in that case those student who will get the same exact those marks, like अगर वो exactly threshold पे हैं, those students who are exactly getting 35, then in that case your application will show that like these students are the failed students. Then क्या होगा? स्कूल के पेरेंट्स आएंगे, ओके, प्रिंसिपल पे चिल्लाएंगे लाइक कैसे हमारे बेटे को फेल कर दिया. सो तब स्कूल पकड़ेगा डेवलपर को, डेवलपर से पकड़ेंगे आपको और बोलेंगे कि ये कंडीशन आपने कैसे लिख दी. So that's why, like, I'm just with the small example, I'm showing you the responsibility of a developer. Even if you miss a small thing, then in that case, it can show you the fail. Another real example is your MSAT. Okay. Another example is your MSAT, which you have given. So in MSAT, there is a cutoff. Okay. So whatever you are getting, so basically you can say that like your MSAT cutoff. And if you are putting, like if I'm saying that Sunil marks is greater than MSAT cutoff, okay, that is fine. Like if you are actually getting 36 number and MSAT cutoff is 35, that is fine. You will get pass. But those students who are actually getting exactly that marks, who is like, who suppose you are getting 35 only as MSAT marks, and matlab, suppose you are getting 35 in your score in MSAT. In that case, our application will show that this is false and this is the wrongly written code. और फिर वहां पे जाके इवन दिस कोड इज नॉट शोइंग एनी एरर, दिस कोड इज नॉट showing any problem. The problem here is a logical one. Here I'm showing you the issue in a granular level. Okay. Later I'll show you how we used to make the mistake in like a bigger code. हम वहां पे बिगर कोड में कैसे गड़बड़ करते हैं, बट छोटे लेवल पे समझना बहुत जरूरी है. बिकॉज लाइक आई रिमेंबर दैट like 1.5 years back I was also working in that MSET, and at that point we did the rechecking of these conditions like multiple times, so that like ऐसा ना हो कि basically if suppose 1,000 students are giving the test and we are मतलब 200 को तो हमने फेल ही कर दिया, even they are getting the cutoff. And this is not like a maybe you will say that कि ये बहुत बड़ा impact create करेगा. It will create a big impact. Suppose if 10,000 students are giving MSET to in our platform, if 10,000 students are giving platform like MSET in our platform, and out of 2,000 students who are getting the same marks, and just due to this condition they will get failed. So that means एक कंपनी का एक रेवेन्यू वाला पार्ट भी होता है ना. इट्स समथिंग लाइक इफ स्टूडेंट्स आर नॉट एडमिटिंग देन द कोर्स विल नॉट रन. So I'm just showing you the bigger level impact through this. So similarly, we have a different kind of operators, as I mentioned, like greater than, greater equal to, less than equal to. Why it is important? And putting a greater than and less than equal to is very important at a right place. For that, you need to understand the problem statement very carefully. Okay. So now, 1 second. जैसे, I'll show you another example. Problem 3.java. Now I'm showing you the example in terms of e-commerce platform. ठीक है, एक e-commerce का example, just imagine it. So basically in this e-commerce example, so basically what happened, Amazon comes with a New Year sale. Amazon is saying that if you want a discount, then you need to make a minimum purchase of like what you need to make a minimum purchase of 4,000, then only you are eligible for discount. Now there is a person Sukhilal. Okay, Sukhilal make a purchase of Sukhilal ne purchase kari 5,000. Now if I'm saying that if I'm creating a variable boolean eligible for discount, and in that case, if I'm saying eligible for discount, then what I will say that कि if Sukhi Lal, अगर Sukhi Lal का purchase, if it is greater than minimum purchase, then in that case, what will happen? We can say that like he is eligible for discount if this condition is coming true. So basically, here I will print the output system.out.println. And here I'll print the eligible for discount. Now you know that like if I execute this code, in that case, what will happen? This is problem 3. Now, if I execute this code, now you can see that. Now, if I execute this code, now you know that like in this case, it will show me that Sukhi Lal is eligible for discount. But now, if there are many people who actually make this purchase, you have seen this अपने काफी scenarios देखे होंगे. Suppose your amount is coming 3,000. So what you used to do is you intentionally make it 4,000 so that you will get a discount. Either you in Swiggy you have seen that like Swiggy used to say that like if you make a purchase of about 200, then only you are eligible for discount. So now if in this case Sukhilal is eligible, but suppose if Sukhilal make a purchase of 4,000, then in that case the output will be false. You already know that because I have put a greater than sign. Now the impact will be very great. Why? Because in Amazon there are million of people who are actually logged into who are like with Amazon. And if they make the purchase, then you know that like if they didn't get the discount, then on the portal, on the help issue, on the support part, on the support like section of Amazon, they will query they will query the issues. Okay, कि what the issues they are facing, and at the end what will happen, वो एक न्यूज़ बन जाएगी, फिर वो आपको आज तक में दिखेगा. फिर आपको उसको टीवी इंडिया में दिखेगा. It's something like then on YouTube also people will comment, will start commenting on that. Yeah, how Amazon can do this foolish mistake, like because many people didn't get the discount. So that's why I'm just showing the impact. It totally depends upon the business. So that is the main thing. And now let's come to the next operator. The next operator which I want to explain is not equal to operator. Not equal to operator. Not equal to operator. So basically it checks if two values are not equal. If two values are not equal. So basically when I'm saying 5 not equal to 6, in that case it will return true. सही बात है. 5 not equal to 6, सही बात है. Okay. So that's why you need to think in terms of it. So this is something like basically what it is doing. But if I'm writing 5 not equal to 5, ये गलत बात है. False. So you here you need to be very like यहाँ पे आपको थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा ध्यान देना होगा. Why I'm saying that? Because most of the time what happened, equal to, less than equal to, greater than equal to are very common. That is fine. You will not make the mistake. But whenever we used to put the negation, na, sometimes negation actually create an confusion. Okay, so you know that na, there are some English sentence unless you do this, okay, until and unless. So it is what it is doing, like it's something like a kind of a negation is putting. So what happened sometime when you used to when you are talking in that way, na, in negation sense, then you need to be very conscious because sometimes शब्द का मतलब ही बदल जाता है. Okay, so now like this is a part. So if I just take few examples, I'll take few examples from it. So I'm taking a variable int a equals to 5, int b equals to 6, int c equal to 6. So basically here I'm checking b equal to c and a not equal to b. And the last one is tell me what will be the output for all of this. कोई कह रहा है true false, कोई कह रहा है true false false. Okay, so let's see. So basically the output of this one is b equal to c, that is true. If I say a not equal to b, so that is false. If I'm saying b not equal to c, that will say uh, one second, b not equal to c, that is false. b c के इक्वल नहीं है. देखो मेरे को कंफ्यूज कर दिया. So basically when I'm saying 5 not equals to, that is true.
The second will be true, maybe.
A not equal to b, right? This is true.
Yes, sir.
Right. B equal to c, that is also true. And the third one is b not equal to c. तो b c के इक्वल नहीं है, that is actually false.
सर बी सी के इक्वल तो है.
क्या कह रहे हो? हाँ, बी सी के इक्वल है ना. तो बट हम यहाँ पे देख रहे हैं कि बी हम बट हम व्हाट वी आर सेइंग इज बी इज नॉट इक्वल टू सी. हमने तो ये बात बोली. बट जब हमने चेक किया, देखो आप मुझे बताओ, लाइक इफ आई से बी इक्वल टू सी, ये ट्रू होगा कि फॉल्स होगा?
ट्रू होगा।
ट्रू होगा ना? तो उसका उल्टा क्या होगा? ऑब्वियसली फॉल्स होगा।
या ओके ओके।
सो समटाइम्स आई टोल्ड यू ना, लाइक समटाइम नॉट कंफ्यूज कर देता है। सो दैट्स व्हाई, सो यू नीड टू, लाइक यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा ध्यान से यू नीड टू टेक दिस थिंग। यस विष्णु।
So what can happen? We are use not equal to, not double equal to.
नॉट डबल ट्रिक, मतलब ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं है एक्चुअली। वो चेक करना पड़ेगा जावा में, बट ऐसा होता नहीं है। यू कैन सी दैट इट इज ऑलरेडी गिविंग अ रेड मार्क।
Oh,
ओके, सो वी हैव ओनली दिस ऑपरेटर, लाइक इक्वल टू, लेस देन इक्वल टू, जो भी मैंने ऑपरेटर आई हैव शोन यू हियर, ये वाले।
yeah, yeah, sir.
ओके ठीक है। सो यस अनुराग।
Sir, what is difference between equal to and double equal to?
बताया था ना यहाँ पे, असाइनमेंट एंड कंपैरिजन। when you are actually making a writing a equal to 2, that means you are giving value to a, you are assigning a value to a. But when you are writing a double equal to 2, then what it is saying is, जो भी a की वैल्यू है उससे मुझे कंपेयर करके बताओ कि हम दोनों इक्वल है कि नहीं है। तो मान लो a की वैल्यू थी 4, तो 4 इक्वल टू दैट इज फॉल्स। सो इट इज यूज्ड फॉर कंपैरिजन एंड इट इज यूज्ड फॉर असाइनमेंट। ओके, असाइनमेंट वर्सेस कंपैरिजन, एक असाइन करता है और एक कंपेयर करता है। दैट ठीक है। सो गाइज अभी लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट। द नेक्स्ट थिंग इज कंडीशनल स्टेटमेंट्स। कंडीशनल स्टेटमेंट्स, so what is conditional statements actually? Like in the pre-class I already told you, it control the flow of execution, flow of execution in a program based on certain condition, based on certain condition. अब now what you need to think is, यहां तक तो like we learned the story, we understood it, okay, like the Sukhi Lal is eligible for the discount, now it is giving true. Now if this thing is true, if Sukhi Lal is eligible for the discount, then we need to do something ना, हमें उसका कैलकुलेशन करनी पड़ेगी। वी नीड टू वट एवर टोटल प्राइस ऑफ सुखी लाल, वी नीड टू डिडक्ट द अमाउंट, लाइक वट एवर डिस्काउंट ही इज गेटिंग। और अगर फॉल्स है तो इन दैट केस वी नीड टू टेल सुखीलाल दैट यू आर नॉट eligible for discount. You know that, like if you go to Amazon, if you are eligible for discount, then what it will do, it will it will show you the basically the total price of your final. The my thing is, ये सिर्फ आधी कहानी है, इस आधी कहानी के भी तो आगे बढ़ना है कि ठीक है भाई ट्रू निकल गया, अब ट्रू के बाद क्या? Similarly, in previous story, we were seeing that, okay, Sunil marks is greater than MSET cutoff. Okay, fine, good. But now the thing is, now अब आगे क्या? So आगे क्या है? आगे it's something like will, अभी हमारा कोड आगे चलेगा ना, कि if Sunil is passed, then what we need to do? If Sunil is failed, then what we need to do? Okay, so the conditional statement, what conditional statement say that, like there is a, it controls the flow of execution in a program based on certain condition. Whatever condition is coming, it is actually making those decisions. तो इमेजिन दैट सपोज योर प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट रनिंग फ्रॉम लाइक लाइन 1, ऐसे से आपका प्रोग्राम रन कर रहा है, फिर उसको यहाँ से दो रास्ते मिलेंगे। ओके, सो यहाँ से दो रास्ते मिलेंगे, एक होगा यस के लिए और एक होगा नो के लिए, लाइक देयर इज सम कंडीशन हियर। नाउ आफ्टर दैट योर प्रोग्राम विल स्टार्ट अगेन एग्जीक्यूटिंग इन दिस वे। इमेजिन दैट दिस इज द लाइन ऑफ कोड 1 2 3 4, you have written 100 lines of code, then your code will start running, and then again it need to make a decision whether need to move this or need to move this. Okay, now how he's actually making the decision. You know that like whenever आप किसी website में जाते हो, at every point it used to ask you question. Okay, when you go to Netflix, like if you are going to any platform like Masai, so when you are going to masaischool.com, then it used to ask you, na, which program you want. You want a data analytics program, you want basically a full-time web development program. Okay, which program you want? And if you chosen this program, then the flow will change. ओके, उसकी फीस अलग होगी, उसका सिलेबस अलग होगा, उसकी चीजें अलग होंगी. तो इसलिए इन अवर कोड, वट एवर कोड वी यूज टू राइट, देर आर मेनी कंडीशन, मेनी सिचुएशन, मेनी डिसीजन विच वी नीड टू मेक, और वो हम अपने कोड में लिखते हैं. सो ऑल दो सिचुएशन वी यूज टू कैरी इन अवर कोड. एंड इन अवर रियल लाइफ ऑल्सो यू हैव सीन दैट लाइक लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स इट्स नॉट लाइक वी आर, हम सुबह उठे तो हम सबका साइकिल एक ही तरह से है. Okay, maybe like suppose you have a routine, daily routine that I'll wake up in the morning, and if like if breakfast is ready, then I'll do the breakfast. If breakfast is not ready, then I'll go for taking a shower. Okay, so there are different conditions which in starting. Even your mom is all used to give you the options. Like if basically what do you want in your breakfast? Okay, so she can provide you multiple options. She can provide you multiple option for that. And even also in your school, I think you remember that on Monday, if it is Monday, on Monday, your maths class, your physics class, your chemistry class will happen. If it is Tuesday, then there will be different subject, environment, and English. All these subjects will happen. If it is Wednesday, then different subjects will happen. So here you can see, conditions are very different. Okay. If your half yearly is going on, then in that case, the marks will be computed out of 100 or out of 50. If it is annual exam, so it will be computed in some manner. So there are a lot of condition in program in real life situation also. So I have also given an analogy of real world, that is traffic light. So traffic light analogy mein you have seen that like if light is green, okay, so signal to move, it will signal to move. If light is red, then signal to stop. Okay, now this is something like you can see that like on based on some condition, something is happening. If this condition is true, then this thing is happening. Now the second thing is, when I'm talking about condition may there might be two things, like if this is true or if this is false based on this condition. If this thing is happening, then do this. If this thing happening, do that. It totally depends. Now, basically, can you come up with some examples in your daily life how you used to basically at any point when you want to make a decision or something, how like decision actually look like? कोई भी situation, जैसे I have given a traffic light example. If light is green, then you need to do this. So what do you think? Can you give me some examples? Yes, if class not, then assignment. Yes, toss in a match, right? At the time of purchase, okay. If very cold, not even shower, right? If hungry, then eat at home, nice. If class, then आज नहीं नहाना है, nice. If I get early from bed, mummy not beat me. 50% off to buy. Go to visit on 20th or not due to assignment. Okay. So I think you understood the conditional thing because already it is happening a lot in your life. So now the thing is, if I'm talking about condition statement, so there are three types. Like if the first one is if statement, the second one is if else, the third one is if else if. Okay, so we'll see we'll try to understand these things with example. Now, first of all, if I just go with the syntax, what is the syntax of if? when you want to write the if statement, then how will you write it? So basically the format is, you need to write if, and in the bracket you need to provide the condition, and after condition what you will do is you will open the bracket and you will close the bracket, and here you will write your code, whatever code it is, and this condition result will be either in true or false. This condition result will either be in true or false. Okay, so now let's see one by one. So basically अगर मैं बोलता हूँ boolean value, so problem 5.java, if I'm saying like if I code, so पहला चीज जो हम देख रहे हैं that is if with boolean, if को boolean के साथ. So now here you created the problem 5. Now here what I'll do is, here I'll write if, in the bracket I will write true if it is true. So basically I'm directly giving a true value. Then in that case what I will do is bhai chalega. Okay, and now in that case what will happen, the code will, and here I'll say that देवियों और सज्जनों गाड़ी में बैठ जाओ. Okay, and this is the starting point and this is the ending point. Say उतर जाओ. So basically there are two things which I have written here is, and if I just run this Java problem 5, and you know that like even this condition is true. So you know that like this condition is also getting executed, this thing is getting executed, but this code will only execute if this thing is true. Okay, but if I write this thing like if false, तो in that case ये क्योंकि false है इसके अंदर, वो उसको अंदर घुसने नहीं देगा, वो उसको अंदर घुसने ही नहीं देगा. Like suppose if I run this code again, then you can see that like this code will not get executed. पहली लाइन चली बट ये वाला कोड एग्जीक्यूट नहीं होगा. Why? Because the condition here is false, and based on this only then this code will get executed, but here this code will not get executed, and this is the final line. Okay, so this is something like if with boolean. Now let's see if with expression. Let's see if with expression. If with expression. So if with expression क्या हुआ कि if I copy it, and here यहाँ पे I'll write is, suppose some expression 5 is greater than 3. 5 is greater than 3. So if 5 is greater than 3, then in that case I will say that कि ठीक है भाई, भाई 5 बड़ा निकला. So now here in this case I'll execute it, and this is problem 6. I need to change the, so you can see that भाई 5 बड़ा निकला. ठीक है. अब now this is if with expression. Now also one more thing, when I'm writing condition here, you can also write कि अगर if you are saying कि suppose something is written xyz, and if you are comparing with another xyz, so I told you na double equal to is for comparison. So in this case also it will return true. In this case also it will return true. If this string is equal to this string, then in that case it will return true, and you will get your result. So यहाँ पे देखो, यहाँ पे मैं बोलूंगा . भाई दोनों स्ट्रिंग okay, sorry, I'll use both strings are okay. So now if I execute it, so let's see what will happen. So you can see that bus starts, bro, both strings are equal, and then the last one is bus stop. So here you can see that like here I can also compare strings. It's not only for numbers, but in strings you cannot do greater than equal to. This thing you cannot do. This is not a right thing. कि एक स्ट्रिंग को दूसरी स्ट्रिंग के साथ अब ग्रेटर देन और लेस देन कैसे कंपेयर कर लोगे. बट हाँ, डबल इक्वल टू इज फाइन बिकॉज यू कैन कंपेयर वेदर दीज आर इक्वल और नॉट. Now the last thing is if with variables. Third is the second I was given is with expression. The third is if with variables. अब variables के साथ भी basically you can do the same. Problem 7.java. Now if I copy it, now if I write 7, and now you can see that like here I want to make a variable boolean check, and check me basically I will write both the thing xyz equal to xyz. So in that case I will directly write check. So basically you can see that if xyz equal to xyz, then the value it will give me is true, and that true value will come inside check. And then here it is checking that if check is true, तो automatically if you are writing check or if you are writing true, that is same. क्योंकि वो दोनों सेम है, क्योंकि check के अंदर true ही है actually. Because check is actually is equal to like whatever the operation of this thing, this is statement. So this statement give me true, and that will come inside check. And then if check is true, then accordingly we'll execute this. So it is saying compilation is failed. Why? So now you can see the output. Both strings are equal because check is actually giving me true. Okay. Now let's do one thing. So basically, I am giving you two variables, a equal to 2, b equal to 3. And now what you need to do, you need to check that if a is equal to 2, if a equal to b, if both are equal, then you need to give you need to print this thing a and b are equal. You can give any value to a and b, it's up to you. But if a and e is equal to b, then in that case we'll say that yes. So I'm sharing the code with you all in the chat. Just quickly solve it. Okay. So now let's see. Okay, so if I copy one of your code, so how you have written it? 1 second. So int a equal to 2, b equal to 3, boolean check 2 equal to 3, that is false. If check, so what it is happening, it is saying same value. तो अब देखो point here is ना, यहाँ पे गड़बड़ क्या है कि I told you that you don't need to print. आपको सिर्फ ये print करना है like both are equal, then that is fine, and that statement you can print. But the problem here is, what if 2 and 2 both are equal? Then in that case, what will happen? Java problem 8 problem8.java. Now if I run it, then you will see that it also not give this value. अभी यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? यहाँ पे 2. Okay, you need to write in this way ना. Why you are writing a equal to b? Just use these variable na. That's why you have created it. Now if I run it, now let's see what will happen. So you can see that like both of the output are getting printed because 2 equal to 2, that is true. Now if true, then in that case it will come to this code and it will get executed and it will come out, and after that this statement will also get printed. You need to remember one thing: if these two statements are true, so whatever present in this bracket, that will definitely print. After that it will come to this line. उस line पे आएगा. Okay, so that is the thing which you need to like ensure from your side. Just 1 minute. So that is the main thing which you need to ensure from your side. Okay, I'm checking the other code. ठीक है. Okay, so this is fine. This is good. Now let's come to the next part. So the next part is if and else. The next part is if and else. So now, guys, I already given you an example. So in this example, you know that like A is equal to B. So what I'll do is I'll just write a direct code like from this. ठीक है, तो मैं क्या करूँगा? So whatever the value of A is, suppose A is 4, and now A is 4, and now you know that like int B is equals to 2. Now, if I'm saying that ki if A is greater than equal to B, then in that case, I can say that system.out.println A is greater than B. Now we also have one more statement that is known as else. Else means remaining all things. Remaining is अगर A और A B से बड़ा नहीं है तो otherwise जो भी होगा, whatever the output will be, just print this. Okay, so we can say that A is less than B. A is less than B. So now you can see that this is something known as if and else. अगर वो बड़ा नहीं है तो छोटा ही होगा. Okay, if A is greater than, अगर A से बड़ा नहीं होगा, if A is not greater, मतलब if A is greater than B, then fine. But if it is false, then we'll come to this place. Now if I execute this thing and if I run it, now what is happening here? So here double quotes are coming. So Java problem 8.java. Now you can see that A is actually greater than B. Since A is greater than B, then in that case, because why? A is 4 and B is 2. So this is the reason why this is the situation where we can use else. Else means बाकी बचा हुआ जो भी है. We are not saying any specific condition, but like I'm talking about all this thing. So, but this code is actually not right. Can anyone tell me why this code is not right? Why this code is not right? Guys, this code is not right because what if A equal to both are exactly equal to? So if I run this code, in that case also this code will give me the output that A is less than B, but A is not actually less than B. In this case, A is actually equal to B. Okay, A is not less than B. So that means, because what else is doing? Else is saying blindly what it will do is whatever the if is rejecting, or everything is coming to else. and then else is actually printing that. So in that case, what we need to do is might be less than or equal to b. So we can say this thing. हम ये बोल सकते हैं, बट हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि बेसिकली लेस देन ही होगा. A might be less than or equal to B. Okay, because else is not actually checking specific condition. वो तो हमारा common sense है, which we are saying कि okay, अगर A greater than नहीं है, so whatever the other condition might be this. So this is where we can use else. Now we have something known as another thing that is known as else if. हमारे पे एक और चीज होती है जिसको हम कहते हैं else if. So before that, I just want to take one more example of it. Problem 9.java. So I can also say that, like, suppose if I'm copying the code and if I'm writing this thing, string name one, and here if I'm saying Suraj, string two equals to Suraj. So if name one is equal to name one equal to name two, then in that case we can print that names are equal. Okay, otherwise we will say that names are not equal. Names are not equal. So basically you can see this here, like if name one and name two are equal, so in that case we will write in this manner. So if I just execute it, then in that case, what will happen? Sorry, problem 9 is, this is 9. If I execute this, then you will see that it is showing semicolon is missing. So now you can see that names are equal. Why? Because Suraj. Now the another way of writing this code, is, अगर आपको दूसरी तरह से लिखना चाहते हो, तो we also have a function. We can also use a function here. Okay. So अभी just you can, अभी आप सिर्फ रट लो. It's something like, because later in after week 2 we'll see function in detail. But there is one function through which we can compare two strings. So name one dot, and then you can write equals, and in the equals you can write name two. So basically what this code is doing is, what this line is doing is it is comparing whether name one is equal to name two or not. If it is equal, then it will return true. So here if I just execute it, then in this case also it will give me the output. So names are equal. Okay, that is another way of saying the same thing. Now let's see a question. Okay, now let's see a problem. अभी इससे पहले I want to cover one more thing कि like this problem जो मैंने ये बोला था A greater than B. अब now one second, problem 10 dot Java. I told you this कि अभी तक हमने देखा सिर्फ if और else. Till now we have only seen that if and else. Okay, if and else. And in else block you have seen that like we are not putting any kind of condition. In else block we are not putting any kind of condition. Else मतलब जितना बाकी बचा हुआ सब है. But what if there are multiple conditions? What if there are many conditions which I want to write? Okay, there are many conditions which I want to write. So in that case, we have a another special thing that is known as else if. And in else if you can put some condition. So here I can say that if A is greater than B, then I can say that A is so basically in this one I can say that if A is greater, like I can put another condition A equal to B. और अगर ऐसा हुआ तो बेसिकली उस पे क्या होगा, system dot out dot println I will say that A is equal to B. Now the third condition which I can put is else if A is less than B, because here I am writing all the conditions. So here I can say that A is less than B. So now you can see that like here what I have did is, यहाँ पे मैंने क्या किया, यहाँ पे मैंने क्या किया, it's something like I have like broken down this code in multiple conditions. So I can write if, then else if, then else if. So here you can also write else. यहाँ पे आप इसकी जगह सिर्फ else भी लिख सकते हो. Why? क्योंकि इन दोनों like other than these two condition, only one condition is remaining, which is known as a is less than b. So either if you write else if a is less than b, that is also fine, or even just you if you write else, that is also fine. Because what is the other condition? A can be greater than b, a can be greater than equal to b, like a can be equal to b. But what is the other condition? The only third possibility is a is less than b. So that's why I'm just putting it else. Or either you can also write in this way. That is also fine. Okay, in that case, the final else is not required. So if I basically execute this code, so how this code used to get executed, so just remember the pattern. आपको pattern याद रखना है. So always remember that whenever your code will get executed, it will get executed in top to bottom. It will first come to the main function. So this is my main function. After main function, it will execute this a equal to 2. In the memory, it will say that a equal to 2. In the memory, it will say that b equal to 2. Now it is saying a greater than b. 2 is greater than 2. That is false. So if it is false, then this condition will not get executed. Now it will come to this one. 2 is equal to 2. So this is true. If this is true, then this condition will get executed and come out of this, like come out of this thing, like whatever the chain you are forming, if else if else if, whatever chain you are forming, so it will come out of this, like getting it. So it will not go to the third one, क्योंकि वहां जाके कोई फायदा नहीं, like out of these thing I got my answer here, then I don't need to. But remember one thing, इसका मतलब ये है कि out जाने का मतलब वो बिल्कुल बाहर ही चला जाएगा. When I'm saying that it will go out, what it means is system.out.println. भैया जी कोड एंड. Okay, code ends here. Now, if I execute this thing, now let's see what will happen. Saying that Bhaiya ji code ends. So if I execute it, so you can see that like here, Bhaiya ji code end. And now since our code actually ends here, so in that case, what happened? A is equal to B. So remember one thing, how the code is actually getting executed. So it will come to this one, A equal to B, 2 is greater than 2, that is false, it will not get executed. Now A equal to 2, that will get true, it will get executed. But after that, it will come out of this chain. The chain is ending here. So after that, it will execute this line. Okay, but it will not execute anything which is written in else if then. Yes, Vishnu.
2 minutes. Yes, sir. I have four values. Suppose I have four values, and then I'm using two conditions. If else, first if else, and I want output first if else false and true. Then I want the second output false and true. Then what can
Okay.
you use if
So,
else, yeah,
अच्छा,
or
let's
if
do,
else?
now let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. I'm copying this code. Okay. I'm copying this code. Now I'm pasting it here. So what you said, I have four variables. Okay. Int a equal to Vishnu. A equal to
A equal to 10, B
ठीक
equals
है.
to 30,
B equals to 30.
and C is equal to 14.
Hmm.
Then I check first and second, A is equal to B. Then I want to print true and false is
Okay.
equal
A
to
equal to B.
yeah. Then I want to check is it is true and false. Then I first output true and false. Then I want to second output to check A and C.
1 second. A and
Yeah.
B are equal. उसके बाद now the second condition which you want is
Else is it is false.
A equal to C.
No, sir. I want to just I say I want to two output. If a condition is first of all a check to A and B and second output A and C. I want to two output. How can you?
हाँ
How
हाँ
can
तो basic okay. So you are saying that you want to check A and B also, but with that you also want to check A and C,
A? Yes. Then
right?
what can use if else yeah or if else
Okay. देखो in
yeah
that case ना when you okay, so basically Vishnu is saying कि okay, I want to check A equal to B, but I also want that A should be also be checked with C. Okay, so in that case what you can do ना, in that case what you can do, देखो, remember one thing, एक concept I am telling you, one concept I'm telling you, Vishnu, just listen, ठीक है?
yeah
अभी आप मेरे को बताना. Now suppose if I'm writing if, okay, and when you are writing this else is actually belongs to this if. Getting it?
yes sir
If I am writing if, and if I am writing else if, and then I am writing else or something, कुछ भी, like either. So all these things are actually belongs to this if, okay?
yes sir
Because why I'm saying it is belong to this is because this is a single chain. This is a single chain which
yeah
is starting. This is another single
yes,
chain. So if you want to check multiple things, then suppose you are writing this if, and then you are writing if, then these two are the individual chain. आपने इसी individual chain को खत्म कर दिया. मतलब it's something like if you are writing another else, अगर आपने यहाँ पे else लिखा, suppose else if or else or anything, so that will be it will consider under this else is actually belongs to this one.
yeah.
Okay,
Then
now
okay
what it means is if you want to check with A with C, then in that case you need to write again A equal to C,
okay
and if you print A and C are equal. Getting it? So what it means is when you are writing if, तो इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब मैं आपको सिंपल भाषा में समझा देता हूँ. In very simple language, the thing is when you are writing if, when you are writing else if, when you are writing else if, like, or else or anything, or when you are writing if, when you are writing if, and when you are writing if. So basically what will happen in this case, when the code will start, it will first check this. If it is true, अगर ये true निकलता है, if it get true, then it will not check these two.
technique yeah
Okay. Again, the second thing is, अब suppose if it is comes out false, if it is comes out false, and if it is comes out true, then it will check and it will comes out. It will not check this. But in case of if it is start executing from here, it will check also it. Even if it is true or false, it doesn't matter. It will also check this. Even if it is true or false, it doesn't matter. It will also check this. So these three ifs are independent. कितने भी if लिख लो, आप if करते रहो, वो सारे इंडिपेंडेंट है. if
so
का जोड़ा बनता है else if के साथ या else के साथ.
okay
Okay.
then we can use every time if and else then I write a if
Okay, so
then
basically if you are adding else after this, suppose,
after
so
yeah and
So this
in an
else actually belongs to this if only. वो इसके if को ही देखेगा, क्योंकि when you want to see else किसके, getting it?
and person. Yeah.
So
Yes,
that is the main point.
I'm trying this last second wala if and second condition फिर if and second condition फिर if, then you putting f else, then not checking two condition, only condition checking if, and then go else condition. It's not checking second if and third if.
कौन से वाले में? इस वाले में?
Yeah.
इस वाले में basically it will go to this one, this one, this one also. But when you are writing else, तो else का जोड़ा यहीं पे बनेगा. तो for example, मान लो everyone is equal, all are equal, ठीक है? When you will do a like little bit of experiment, then you will understand it later. But यहाँ पे just understand the bigger idea. So if I execute this, now what will happen, since you know that all are equal? So
All are equal.
what is happening? 1 second problem. 10.java. ये 11 होगा, sorry. Now I missed. It is giving me error. What error it is giving me? Why I have written system.out.println. So you can see that like it is printing for all of them. A and B are equal, A and C are equal, B and C are equal. But if I write else, and if I write system.out.println, so in that case, when you are writing else, so this else is actually will only see for this one. It will not, मतलब उसको इस बात से कोई मतलब नहीं है इन दोनों से. Else हमेशा उस पे जाएगा तो उसके ऊपर वाला if होगा. So basically this else will say that why I am different. Okay. And now suppose if I'm saying that B is not equal to C. Why I'm saying that? क्योंकि I want that कि ये वाली condition execute हो. Okay. I want that कि this condition should get executed. Suppose मैं इसको कर लेता हूँ. Instead of C, I will write int D. D equals to 12. Okay. So suppose if I'm comparing here C with D. C with D. So C and D are equal. Intentionally, I want that this condition should not, matlab, this will not get executed. Instead, this will get executed. So let's see if I execute it. So now you can see that like this will get executed, this will get executed. But in this case, when this will get false, it says that why I am different.
Yes, sir. Then second, if is equal, sorry, A is equal to C, then A and C is okay. It's like well, okay. That do
ठीक है?
this time not okay, sir. Fine, sir.
ठीक है. ठीक है. So
Thank you.
guys, this is all the concept now, and like let's move to the next one because a lot of time we have spent here. So the next thing is, so this is something like this was the next topic which I want to cover, is that कि if जो मैंने भी आपको दिखाया कि there is a difference between when you are talking about only if, okay, there is a difference. when you're saying if, and there is a difference when you are writing if, else if, or else if, something like this. So this is something like a pair. But when you are writing if individually, that's something like a separate thing. So इसके साथ you can start its own else if. इसके साथ you can start its own else if. So that is the main fundamental, which you can try it on yourself. Okay, so now let's solve a problem. Okay, let's solve a problem. Okay, before solving a problem, I want to tell you one more thing. एक और चीज के बारे में मैं आपसे बात करना चाहता हूँ. One more thing that is known as nested if. Nested if. Okay, what is nested if? Nested if basically means if के अंदर if. Okay, you can make multiple if, like one if inside another if. So suppose if I'm taking this example, problem 12.java. Now here, suppose if I'm writing this code, if I'm copy pasting this problem 12, if I remove this code, now if I am saying that if 3 is greater than 2, then in that case I am saying that 3 is greater than 2. Guys, tell me whether this is right or not. It is right or not if I'm writing this code. Okay, it is right. Now, if it is right, then in that case, what I'll do, I'll remove this statement. And instead of writing this, what I'll do, inside this if, I will write another if. I will write another if. The another if which I will write is 5 is greater than 2. And then I'll again open a bracket. Now I'll write system.out.println 3 is greater than 2 and 5 is greater than 2. अब इसमें basically what I am telling here is कि देखो, remember one thing, if this condition is not true, then in that case it will not come to this code block. So basically here I'm writing the code. So this is something like in this code block I can write any code. But this is the, you can say that ये एक दरवाजा है. This is a door. This is a door. Okay. And how this door will get open? When this condition is true. When this condition is true, then it will enter into this door. Okay. And now in this door, what is the code which I want to execute? I want to execute this. And now inside this, it will check that whether 5 is greater than 2. Yes, 5 is greater than 2. If 5 is greater than 2, that means 3 is greater than 2 and 5 is greater than 2. Why I am saying that? क्योंकि जब आप अंदर आए हो, इसका मतलब पहले आप बाहर का दरवाजा खोला होगा तभी तो अंदर आए होगे. If you have opened the outside door, then only I can say that. Then only you able to open this door. You cannot directly reach to this door direct. You cannot directly open this door, or you can reach to this door directly. Like getting this point, you cannot directly reach to this door. Like if you haven't opened this one, guys, tell me understood or not? So basically, in this case, I can say that Java, if I execute this code, now let's see what will happen. It says that 3 is greater than 2 and 5 is greater than 2. I'll just write in a shorter manner. 3 is greater than 2 and 5 is greater than 2. So this is something known as nested one. So basically here what I did is, bro, both are. I'm inside. Okay. Now, similarly, after writing this code, I can also write in this way. So you can see that like I have written this code. So you can see that it is printing I'm inside. Now, after removing this, I can also put more if statement. Okay, I can also put more if statement. I can say that if 7 is greater than 2, then I will say that system.out.println, I am inside. What it means is, if you want to come to this door, then in that, if you want to print this statement, then this condition should be true. Then it will enter into this one because it has opened the door one. After opening the door one, it will come to the door two. And after that, it will come to door three. So this is something like the innermost port. So this is known as nested if. If inside if inside if inside if. You can create a very long chain. It doesn't matter. Okay. Now, this is a thing which I have written. Now, if I execute this, now let's see what will happen, because you know that 3 is greater than 2, 5 is greater than 2, 7 is greater than 2. Then you will reach to the jackpot. Okay. So here you can see that here you can imagine that this is known as jackpot price. But now suppose, suppose this condition is false, 1 is less than 2. Okay, now suppose you have opened this door, 3 is greater than 2, that is true. Now 5 is greater than 2, that is true. Now 1 is greater than 2, that is false. Now you loses the game. Now you lose the game. And now this statement will not get printed. So if I just show you, if I run it, and let's see what will be the output. And then you will get to understand that it is not printing anything. It is not printing anything. Okay, to print this, like, then in that case you can put the jackpot price. Now I'm going it again. Okay, I'm explaining this in another manner. Like, if 3 is greater than 2, now I am printing something, system.out.println, you win the first prize. You win the first prize. So basically here I am writing this thing, you win the first prize. Now, after writing this, what I will do is, after you have win that, now I am putting another condition. If 7 is greater than 2, 7 is greater than 2. Now I am saying that you win the second prize. And now after this, I'm again printing another statement, that is 8 is greater than 5. Now here I will write that system dot you win the jackpot prize. Imagine this thing. So this bracket is of this one, this bracket is of this one, this bracket is of this one. ये फालतू ब्रैकेट है, क्योंकि आपके जितने ओपनिंग ब्रैकेट हैं, दैट द सेम नंबर ऑफ शुड बी द क्लोजिंग ब्रैकेट. 1 2 3 4 5 and 1 2 3 4 5. So ठीक है. So I'll just organize these brackets in this manner so that it will look right. So now you can see that if I just execute this line, now let's see what will happen. You win the first prize, then you win the second prize, and then you win the jackpot prize because you entered the first one. But what if this condition is false? What if this condition is false? 2 is greater than 5. Now if I run it, now let's see, because this condition I'm making intentionally false. If I'm making this condition intentionally false, let's see, you win the first prize, you win the second prize. If I make this condition intentionally false, now let's see what will happen. You win the first prize only. But if I make this condition also false, nothing is got printed. Okay, understood? अब देखो, अब इसमें ना मैं इस कोड की थोड़ी सी कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी बढ़ा रहा हूँ. अब चिंता मत रखना, just have patience, you will understand it. Okay, I'm just increasing the complexity of this code a little bit, and then just try to understand this part. Now this is the problem 13. Okay, this is the problem 13. Now just I'm at this point. I'm at this point. This is the if. And where this if is actually ending, this if is actually ending at this point. This if is actually ending at this point. Now I want to show some message to the candidate that if this condition is false, then you win the jackpot prize. And here if I write else, so this else is actually belong to this. And now if I write system.println, then I can print something like that. You loses the jackpot price. And what I will do is intentionally I will make him lose the prize. So now let's see what will happen. So this else is actually with this one, this if. So if I run this code, घबराना मत, ठीक है? Like you will. So basically, you can see that what is happening here. Since 1 second, 1 second. Here it is problem 30. So basically, what I did is, this condition is true, you win the first prize. This condition is true, you win the second prize. But the third one, if 2 is greater than 5, then you loses the jackpot prize. But now what if I make him lose this thing? अगर मैं इसको ये हरवा देता हूँ, ये वाला गेम मैं इसको हरवा देता हूँ, you win the second prize. Then in that case, it will not come inside this because its bracket is starting at this place and ending at this place. So now if I execute this code, now let's see what will happen. Now it is saying you win the first prize, but it is not printing anything because you win the first prize, but when this condition is false, then it will not enter inside. So this is known as nested if. Nested, एक के अंदर एक के अंदर एक. Okay, and if you want to put a else condition for this if, अगर आप इसके लिए else लिखना चाहते हो, if you want to write a else for this one, just try to find out the end bracket of this one. So end bracket is this. इसका जो end bracket है is this, and just write below it else, and you can just print you loses the second prize. You just need to find out the end bracket of it, and below this you can write the else of it. And if that condition will fails, automatically it will get execute the. So you can see that you win the first prize, but you loses the second prize. So this is how this thing is actually working. You can revisit this video again, okay? If you haven't understand it, because we have a very limited time, you just revisit this video again and just listen this carefully, make the notes, things will get clear. एक बारी में confusion होता है, but don't worry. Watch it again, you will get it. That's why I was trying to give you as much as explanation क्योंकि सब record पे जा रहा है. Okay. Now let's try to solve a real world problem, and the problem name is determine the eligibility of marriage. Okay. Now I'm assuming that the basically for males the age is 21. Okay, I'm assuming for now. Even government has changed the rules, but suppose if I'm changing, female is for 18. Okay, suppose this is the eligibility of marriage. Male is 21 and female is 18 according to old government rules. Now, if I want to write a code for this, then how will I write it? Now I have two parameters. I'll copy it. I'll come here. I'll paste it. I'll remove all this. Now, sorry. यहाँ पे what I'll do is I will take a string. That string is gender. Okay, and gender I am taking. So for now, like it doesn't matter. Okay, I'll take the gender later. And the other one is int age. Age I'll also take it later. But right now I will be having two things. So gender either will contain female or male. Okay. For now I'll just put a value male or female. And I'm saying that the age of the female is 21. Now I need to tell me, my program need to tell me whether this person is eligible for marriage or not. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll compare, I'll write if gender, okay, I will use a function. If I want to compare a string, if gender dot equals, or I can directly write if gender is equal to if gender equal to male. अगर gender male है, okay, if gender is male, that means this is true. अगर gender male है, for example, here if I put gender male, now inside this, if this condition is true, then we will check the another thing. If you are passing that ki your gender is male, then what is the thing which we need to check? We need to check that if age is greater than equal to 21 or not, because I already told you for males we will check that ki whether age is greater than equal to 21 or not. Then I will write system.out.println male eligible for marriage. Male eligible for marriage. So basically here what I did is, if I'm checking first gender, if gender is male, and if it is true, then I'm checking whether its age is greater than equal to 21 or not. If his age is not greater than 21, then I will write else, and I'm saying that male not eligible for marriage. So this is my for gender. Now if I want to write the code for female, so I will write if gender is equals to female, okay, and then I will write if age is greater than equal to 18, then I will write female eligible for marriage. Else I would write female not eligible for marriage. So this is how I've written it, like the male and female. So you can see that like if gender is equal to male and if age is greater than equal to 21, then he is eligible for marriage, but is female. So now let's try to run this code. Yes, we can use AND operator. Okay. Now you can see that like this is the code. If I run it, problem 13.java, and if I execute this, let's see what will happen. So you know that like this is male and 21, so this is eligible for marriage. So how this code will execute it, let's see. इसको देखते हैं एक बार कोड एग्जीक्यूट कैसे करेगा. Basically, first our code will execute in this manner. My gender is male, my age is 21. Now it will come here. Gender is male. So this is known as, guys, this is whatever I'm doing, this is known as dry run. Dry run. Dry run means like running code in this manner. Okay. So basically male. So male is equal to male. That is true. So if it is true, now after that, what I will do, I will come to age part. Now I will enter into this one because this first condition is true. Now age is 21. 21 is greater than equal to 21. That is true. Then I will print this male eligible for marriage. Now, after completing this, basically my this thing is else is done. Now I will come out of this if. Now there is another if. If gender is female, so gender is my male actually. So if my gender is male, then this condition is false and it will come out of it because now the inner condition will not get executed. So my final answer will be male eligible for marriage. So this is 14. Now I'll execute this. Yes, Shubhashri.
Sir, you said that the else part is only that else part is only eligible for that second if.
Mm-hmm.
But
Which one?
the else part, sir, if gender is equal to male, then
Uh-huh.
after that you wrote that if age is
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
greater than equal to 21, and after that you wrote else. That else
Mm-hmm.
part is working for second if, or that else part is also working for first if.
ओके आई टेल यू देखो अभी जस्ट आंसर मी फ्यू क्वेश्चन ठीक है सो देन यू विल अंडरस्टैंड इट सो if gender is male so this is the opening bracket of it right अभी डोंट म्यूट योरसेल्फ आई टेल यू
Yes,
ओके
sir.
अभी
Yes,
अपने को
sir.
म्यूट मत करना आप so basically here you can see that this is the opening bracket of it now
Yes, sir.
what is the closing bracket where it's closing bracket इसका
Closing
क्लोजिंग
bracket.
ब्रैकेट आपको बताना है हम्म
First का sir.
हाँ
Yes,
दिस
sir.
वन यू नीड टू टेल मी द
Sir,
लाइन
ये 17 लाइन में है
नहीं
ये
वही
वाला.
वही वही चीज आई वांट टू एक्सप्लेन यू देखो इसका जो ब्रैकेट का एंड है ना दिस इज दिस वन
Okay.
इसका एंड यहाँ पे है
Mhm.
और इसका एंड यहाँ पे है गेटिंग इट
Yes.
देखो द सुभाश्री द
But
पॉइंट
sir,
इज ना लाइक हाँ हाँ टेल मी हेलो
if I write else after the second bracket, if I write else after the second curly bracket, but that else is only working for that if na
हाँ ये
second if.
इनर इफ के लिए काम कर रहा है ना ये वाला एल्स इसके लिए है अच्छा मुझे एक बार में बताओ अभी ठीक है अभी लेट्स टॉक फ्रॉम स्क्रैच ठीक है
Yes,
मैं
sir.
इस कोड को थोड़ी देर के लिए उड़ा देता हूँ
Okay, sir.
ठीक है ये ये
Yes,
जो
sir.
घर है ये किसका है इफ का घर है
Yes, sir.
ये इफ का घर है कि नहीं है दिस इज द होम ऑफ इफ और नॉट
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ठीक है अंडर दिस हाउस यू आर मेकिंग अनदर हाउस सो व्हाट इज द अनदर हाउस व्हिच आई एम मेकिंग इट इज द हाउस ऑफ इफ अनदर इफ
Yes,
ये
sir.
अंदर वाला जो इफ है किराए पे रह रहा है now in this if I can put condition if age is greater than equal to 21 and here this is the opening bracket of it and then I'll put the closing bracket of it कि भैया जी मैं घर के अंदर रहने आया हूँ किराए में just give me some space so this
Okay.
if actually starting at this and ending at it is actually providing this if as a space okay
Yes.
now if I write system dot out dot println so now I'm saying that it ठीक है because the outer condition is this is getting executed and this condition if it is true then I'm saying that male is eligible for marriage ठीक है that is fine okay
Yes, sir.
अब इस if ने इस if से बात करी कि भैया जी मेरे बीवी बच्चे भी हैं क्या मैं उनको लेके आ जाऊं
Okay.
okay so in that case this else which is coming ये किसके घर के अंदर आ रहा है ये इसके घर के अंदर आ
First
रहा
if
है
के first if
हाँ
के घर
और
के.
ये जो else आ रहा है ये इसके बीवी बच्चे हैं
Okay.
and उसके साथ basically it is saying that system dot out dot println I'm saying that male not eligible for marriage okay getting it
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
now if you want to write the else for this one अब इसके बीवी बच्चे अगर के बारे में आप लेके आना चाहते हो इसके मतलब like its own family the family of this if then its family of if will start only at that point where it is ending so it is ending at this point
Yes, sir.
so at this point you can write the else of it जैसे इसका else आपने इसके साथ लिखा था
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got that.
okay got the concept
Yes, sir.
so that is the main thing which you need to understand so similarly happening here this else is related to this if And because these two are actually living as a rent in this if home.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, ठीक है, okay, thank you Suraj. Okay, so guys, this is the main part, and now so that you can see that like this is why I have written this code. And if gender is male and if age is greater than equal to 21, now we are actually writing in this fashion. And similarly, if I'm writing gender is equal to female and under this thing is writing. So just do one thing, like when you will be solving this program, so later just create a map from it. Okay, just create a map like from it. How you can create a map? Like ऐसे हमेशा, क्योंकि आपको थोड़ा सा फ्लो चार्टिंग करनी पड़ेगी, then you will get clear with the concept. So what I'm talking about is, suppose if this is the code, now assume that my code is actually coming here, and then you can create a block, and in this block you can write this point, gender is male, without writing code, हम code नहीं लिख रहे हैं यहाँ पे, and age is 21. Now age is 21. Now after coming down, now you can see that the first if is coming. So here you can write in a like this box. Okay, and what it is checking? It is checking gender is equal to male. Gender is equal to male. तो दो बातें होंगी. What are those two things which can happen? That is possible. That is either it will be true or either it will be false. If this is true, then we will check that whether age is equal to greater than equal to 21 or not. If age is greater than equal to 21, तब फिर दो बातें होंगी, हाँ या ना. अब हाँ हुआ तो basically you can see that like eligible for marriage, male, eligible for marriage, and if it is no, then not eligible for marriage. Okay, and now you can see that if gender is equal to male is false. False में हमने कुछ else condition लिखी ही नहीं है, तो it will not get executed. And after this, when this code will get executed, इस code या ये execute होगा या ये execute होगा. After this, what will happen? It will again come down, and again then it will come to like this part, gender female. It will again come down to this part. It will check that whether gender is equal to female or not. And if gender is female, then again दो बातें होंगी, yes or no. So that's why I'm saying that if you create this kind of design, then it will completely clear you like how this if else is under if and all this thing is actually working. Why? Because now you can see a complete flow chart in one go. Otherwise ये सारा if अगर आप देखते रहोगे ना, तो you will get confused. Okay, ठीक है. So this is the part for it. Now guys, let's see. Now in next session, what we will see is we will see the logical operators. In the next session, we will look into the logical operator. Okay, logical operator, where we will be talking about and or. We'll be talking about and or. And there you will get in clarity like how this thing is actually work. मतलब अभी तो you know that like I was using this if under if. So, but there what will happen? You will get in clarity ki, okay, how this and or thing actually works. Guys, give me 1 minute. So, I'll be solving a problem with you all. एक code मैं आपके साथ लिखता हूँ. Okay, this is the final problem which I'll be solving with you all. So this is something like a real world problem. Problem 15.java. Okay. Now let's do one thing. इसको थोड़ा अच्छे से देखना है. Like आपको ये काफी interesting लगेगा ये problem. So now here what I'll do is like there are two things. Okay, string username. Okay, or I would say that like there is something named stored email और मैं यूजर नेम लिखता हूँ, यूजर नेम, and stored username is Varun. Okay, and I'll go to the string stored password. Okay, this is the password. Imagine that this is the password which I have stored, which I have done I've done a sign up in a website, and this is my actual ID and this is my actual password. Okay, getting it? Now if I am going to any platform, अगर मैं किसी प्लेटफॉर्म में जाता हूं तो दिस इज द वैल्यू विच आई एम इनपुटिंग, input username and I will write string password, input password. So this is the password which I am typing in the website. So now let's go to the Google. Okay, now अब ध्यान से देखना, here if I click on this sign in button, let's see what will happen. It is asking for my email or username. Imagine that it is asking me for my username. Now suppose here I'm typing something, my username like Varun, okay, and Varun123 suppose. Now similarly my actual username, जो मेरा username है on the basically which is the actual username basically which is for which I have done the sign up, वो Varun है. But suppose if I am typing Varun12, so you know that like this is not right. Okay, you already know that this is not right. And suppose the password which I am typing is, the password I am typing also is wrong. अगर मैं दोनों चीजें गलत टाइप करूं, so let's see what will happen. Now, the first thing is Google is asking me your username and I have typed this. So intentionally here you can see that I have typed my wrong username. मेरा जो email था मैंने गलत टाइप किया. Let's see what will happen. If I click on next, then it's saying that couldn't find your Google account. Getting it? Now here what I will do, here I'll write the same code. मैं same वैसे वैसे कोड लिखता चलूंगा. If my stored username, okay, uh, is equal to input username, अगर मेरा stored username और equal to username equal है, ठीक है, so basically if my stored username is equal to input username, let's see अगर मैं सही username डालता हूं तो क्या होता है. So this is my right username, and if I if I just do it, then what I'll do it, then it is asking me for my password. Okay, then it is asking me for my password. So here it is asking me for my password. But what if this stored username is not equal to input username? अगर ये stored username input username के equal नहीं है, then in that case what will happen? It will come to else, and in this else I'll print this message, system.out.println couldn't find your account. ठीक है, the message which Google has given me, like if my username and stored username and input username it is not matching, but if it got matched, if that thing is actually got matched, then what is happening here is it is now asking me for my password. ठीक है, अब वो मुझे मेरे पासवर्ड के लिए पूछ रहा है. अब सपोज like here what I'll do is now I need to inside this, if my username got matched, now inside this I need to check, right, if my stored password is equal to input password. Okay, then something will happen. But if my else, अगर मेरा stored password और input password match नहीं होता है, if it is not matched, then it will come to else. So now let's see, if I write randomly something and if I try to next wrong password, try again or click forward password to reset it. So what I'll do, I'll copy this, and if my stored password is not matching, then in that case it will come to else. Then it will give me this message. Okay, understood? Now, if my stored password got matched with input password, then in that case, my output will be successfully logged in. So now this is the way how the code has actually written. First, what will happen? It will try to check my username with my input username. If both are equal, then in that case, it will check for my stored password. But if suppose this thing is not equal, if suppose my stored username and my input username are not equal, then automatically it will go to this else condition and it will tell me couldn't find your Google account, couldn't find your account. Okay. But if my username got matched, then it will check for stored and input password. If both of them are actually got matched, then it will say successfully logged in. Otherwise, it will say that wrong password. So I'll just show you in the code through like by running it. Now you can see that like this is my input value and this is my stored value. Now suppose if I'm typing wrong, username, let's see what will happen. अब देखते हैं क्या होता है. So this is problem 15. Now let's see from the beginning. Okay. Now here it is asking for my this thing. So I am typing Varun2. So this is intentionally wrong. And here I have also typed this password Varun12. So this is wrong. So if I enter it, now let's see what will be the output. Couldn't find your account. Why? Because stored username and input username is not matching and it will automatically comes to there else. Similarly, if I go to next, couldn't find your Google account. Now, let's see the next thing. Suppose if I'm typing my username right. Suppose my username is right. Okay. Now, in that case, what will happen? अगर मैं username सही type करूँ. Now it is taking me to the password part. Now, but here I'm typing my password in the beginning only. अब if I'm typing my password wrong, अगर मैं यहाँ पे अपना password wrong put करूँ, now it is saying wrong password. Okay, it is saying wrong password. So if it is saying wrong password, in that case, what I will do? So here I have corrected my username. अब मैं इसको input करूँगा, enter मारूँगा. Now you can see that it is saying wrong password. Try again or click forward password to reset. Okay. Now suppose if I corrected my password, अगर मैंने password correct कर दिया. Okay. Now in that case, if I again execute it, successfully logged in. Okay. And this is how this thing is actually running. आप इसको यही इसी फंडे से बनाया है जिस फंडे से हमने this male female problem we have solved it. So you will understood it and I'll provide you the notes and all and you will get in clarity. One second, I'm just showing you something. So guys, basically today we have covered all this thing. Relation operator, what I've taught you today, all the examples, everything I've placed here with the conditional statements. Okay. And these are all the examples which I've given to you. Everything is mentioned here. Okay. And there are also some extra example which you can refer, which will help you to understand, like this is a marriage problem. And also there is also login and logout password wala question, the last question which I've discussed. ठीक है, guys. So you will be having a long weekend. Revise everything, practice question, and definitely you will get in clarity. In the beginning, it looks challenging, but when you get used to it, then you will be comfortable. In your LMS, basically you will find your notes. Yes, Razi.
Sir, can you open the code? I have a question, sir.
हाँ.
Sir,
Can I check username condition separate with if else and stored password condition if else?
Okay, can you please repeat?
Sir, if stored username is double equal to input username, after if that we write else, then after else we write other condition for password. So it is true. Can I write like this?
हाँ मतलब you can say that okay, अच्छा with
Sir,
this
you
only.
said that if is a bigger house, then we stored another if in that house. So, sir, we separate that bigger house and we separate that small house.
देखो यूजर नेम अगर इफ यूजर नेम इज इक्वल, अगर यूजर नेम इक्वल हुआ, ठीक है,
Then after this, if we without else statement.
राइट, तो अभी अभी भूल जाते हैं, अभी सिर्फ इतने को देखते हैं, लाइक
Yes,
दिस इज
sir.
इफ एंड दिस इज एल्स, ठीक है।
Yes, sir.
अगर यूजर नेम और इनपुट यूजर नेम इक्वल हुआ, तब हम बात आगे बढ़ाएंगे, कि भाई चलो अब पासवर्ड भी दो। मतलब पहले आप मेरी कहानी को समझो बस। इफ आई एम आस्किंग यू यूजर नेम और आपका यूजर नेम और हमारे अगर दो राशि मिल जाती है, तब बात आगे बढ़ेगी ना शादी के लिए, तब बात आगे बढ़ाएंगे।
सर मैं वो समझ गया, मैं सिर्फ इतना पूछना चाह रहा था कि ये इफ के डायरेक्ट बात एल्स स्टेटमेंट लिख के एक कंडीशन चेक करेंगे, फिर आफ्टर दूसरी कंडीशन के लिए अलग इफ एल्स लिख सकते हैं क्या?
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, मतलब इसके बाद।
यस सर, मतलब सेपरेट
हाँ
सेपरेट
हाँ,
कंडीशन चेक कर सकते हैं ना सर?
सही बात है, कर सकते हैं। मतलब इसके
है ना
बाद आप
सर,
क्या
मतलब
कर
वो
सकते
इजी पड़ेगा ना सर?
लेकिन आप ये जो आपने बोला ना सेपरेट कंडीशन पासवर्ड के लिए, यहाँ पे लिखने के लिए,
हाँ सर।
यार देखो पॉइंट इसमें ये है ना कि सपोज इफ यू आर चेकिंग यूजर नेम, ठीक है, अभी इसको थोड़ा समझना, लाइक इफ यू आर कंपेयरिंग हियर इफ स्टोर्ड यूजर नेम इज इक्वल टू इनपुट यूजर नेम, ठीक है।
यस सर।
नाउ इफ आई एम रीचिंग टू दिस पॉइंट, अब ये वो ये बात हो गई, मान लो अगर मैं यहाँ पे लिख देता
यस
स्टोर्ड
सर।
पासवर्ड इक्वल टू यूज्ड पासवर्ड, ठीक है, इसके अंदर मैं कोड लिखता।
यस सर।
अब इसको समझो दैट इट इज एक्चुअली बिकमिंग रॉन्ग, व्हाई? क्योंकि द पॉइंट हियर इज, मैंने इसके अंदर कोड लिखने का क्यों लिखा था, इसके अंदर मैंने कोड इसलिए लिखा था क्योंकि मैं दो दरवाजे लगाना चाहता था, कि पहला दरवाजा जब तक पूरा नहीं हुआ ना तब तक वो दूसरे दरवाजे में घुस ही ना पाए। बट इन दिस केस व्हाट विल हैपन, ये कोड इसको चेक करेगा, दिस कोड विल चेक विल ट्राई टू कंपेयर दिस स्टोर्ड यूजर नेम विद इनपुट यूजर नेम, and if it match, then okay, it is showing that okay, you are right, you can continue with your password, okay, that is fine. Okay, suppose if this condition is got executed, then definitely it will come to store password also। मतलब आपके वाले केस में क्या है कि ये स्टोर पासवर्ड पे आएगा ही आएगा, लेकिन मेरे को तो उसको स्टोर पासवर्ड तक के दरवाजे तक भेजना ही नहीं था तब तक जब तक उसने यूजर नेम नहीं दिया,
अच्छा,
इसलिए मैंने इस कोड को इसके अंदर रखा था।
नाउ आई अंडरस्टैंड सर।
ओके, एंड व्हेन यू आर राइटिंग इट सेपरेटली, तो इन दैट केस क्या होगा, वो जरूर उस कोड पे आएगा ही आएगा, लेकिन हम चाहते ही नहीं है कि वो उस कोड में पहले आए।
यस
सो
सर, आई
दैट्स
अंडरस्टैंड सर।
व्हाई, ओके,
यस
सो
सर।
दैट इज द मेन। ठीक है, बट नाइस क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज आई थिंक अदर्स आल्सो गेट क्लैरिटी विद दिस, एंड दैट इज द मेन पार्ट। Okay, ठीक है, thank you. Guys, you will find your notes in your LMS. In your LMS, you will in the section, like with each session, there is something known as notes, and there you will find it. But it will take some time. In 1 or 2 hours, it will get uploaded, and the video recording is also like ये भी थोड़ा सा automated है. And when I'll stop it, जब मैं यहाँ से stop करूँगा, तब वो basically directly platform पे upload होगा. So don't worry about it. You will get it soon, and revise it. Revise, take revise notes, and like if you are facing any issue in the session, मतलब कहीं पे अगर आपको जहाँ पे you are not getting it. So what you can do is you can just go to that part and watch it. But remember one thing, you know that like every day you are getting the video recording. Okay, so video recording is not for like you're sitting back and you're watching video and you are having a popcorn It's something like this is not for this is not why we are providing you recording. Otherwise, you know that like in 1 month इतना बड़ा collection आपका ready हो जाएगा. जैसे घर में होता है ना, शादियों की वीडियो की रिकॉर्डिंग्स होती हैं इतनी सारी, ऐसे ही आप पे यू विल हैव अ लॉट ऑफ this session recording. So what you need to do is you need to make your own notes. Whatever we are providing, don't totally depend on those notes which I'm giving to you, because that is written by us. हमारी एक नेचुरल टेंडेंसी क्या होती है, दैट हमें अपना लिखा हुआ ज्यादा जल्दी समझ में आता है. ओके, सो व्हाट यू नीड टू डू इज मेंटेन अ कॉपी, राइट योर ओन नोट्स. नोट्स ऐसे बनाओ कि लेक्चर देखने की फिर जरूरत ही ना पड़े. And even you can watch the lecture even after the session also, what I'm saying. But even मतलब if you are watching a session, if you are watching a video, so उसको ऐसे देखो कि I'll prepare my own notes और उसके बाद मुझे उस सेशन की खोलने की कभी जरूरत ही ना पड़े. Everything is present on my copy. ओके, मैंने कोई जोक भी बोला है तो वो भी जोक भी लिख सकते हो वहां पे, ताकि तब भी वीडियो खोलने की जरूरत ना पड़े. So the point here is कि you need to totally depend on your copy, whatever notes you are writing. Okay, so that is just, please keep this thing in your focus. Why? Because even when you will move to next unit, there you will also be having a lot of session. Like every day you will be having session. And how can you retain and how will you revise later? It's not like कि आप पिछले 2 महीने की recordings आप देखने बैठ जाओगे. Okay. So yeah, that's all. Thank you everyone, and yeah, enjoy the weekend and Christmas. Merry Christmas. Okay, bye.